if that's the case, we'll be good. Another 10 meters.
I think so.
Roger.
Okay, I'm over top of
Maybe
this
it's
thing.
hanging out.
That would be a good time for position and heading.
What's that?
Could we get a position on this
That's
frame?
what
Yes.
we're doing.
I'm parallel with it and looking directly 180,
Yeah.
186 to be exact.
Oh. Thanks, Johan.
No problem.
I'll take that 10 meters east. Go vessel move 10 meters east, please.
Copy. Bridge nav. 10 meters due east, please. Thank you.
Okay, Jay, what do you want to see here?
Yeah, if we could just do a really nice 360, get good camera footage of the whole frame.
Roger.
And then we'll
So right now, Danny, you got enough leash to do 290 of it. You might have enough leash to do 180 from here, but I don't think so. So, or let's do this. Come around to your right and do 180. Because right now you're 90 out from Atalanta.
Yep.
So if you come around to the right, you'll be halfway around while Atalanta's still moving. The reason for that is you get, with Atalanta on your 6, you can go 180, right?
Yep.
For tether turn porpoises. And less tail tugging. I get that beautiful smooth video.
Typical drone flyby right here.
Yep.
So I've seen these frames that have, you know, like sliding pins to close the doors, but I don't see any of those on this one.
Looks like hinges.
Yeah, I just wonder how they're locked shut. Anyways, we'll sort that out later.
I think they got rid of the lock because it was ridiculous. The doors are also challenging. I think you
Well, but these would have been,
come around
this would have been
another,
like first generation, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
Well, I just took my tether wrap out, so right now I'm happy.
Yeah. Just come around to where you're looking at Atalanta and then come back around the other way.
Yeah, if we could get a really nice like zoom on the cable termination as well whenever you're set
After
up.
we're done with the 360.
Sure. Or we can pause when we're here, kind of.
We're too far away for any decent zooms. We can stop and fly in, but it'll complete the 360.
Sure.
So you're saying 270 degree
I
spin?
think you can come on around.
All the way around?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I only have 1.1 turbo wraps.
Yeah, you're good. It'll be nice for the people watching, looking at the video later. You get a do a 360 in the video clip.
Oh yeah. There's your 360.
All right. Look at that perfect circle on ROV nav.
Yeah. Perfect tether turn
Perfect
removal.
tether wrap. Yeah.
We actually took one out, so you lucked out.
Beautiful.
So you want to look at the
Usually you have
Yeah,
to suffer through
let's look at the termination, and then we'll open the doors, and then we'll call it a day.
sit down and take a touch off of a toe?
No, you don't need to sit. Just get close.
Yeah, and we don't really need to see like the bacteria growing on it. We just kind of want, for the record, that it looks to be in good condition from what we can see.
Yeah.
People who know a little more about these than I do.
When was this first deployed, AJ?
I don't know, Dan.
So,
Okay, video.
no, not
No?
yet. I thought we'd been through this. So you're 3 meters up. You can't zoom from 3 meters away.
Okay.
It's like clear across the room. So a good zoom, altitude and distance is like 1.5, 2 meters. You gotta
Well, I was
get
just telling
closer.
them to get ready. I wasn't going to tell them to zoom in.
Yeah, fly the ROV, not the camera.
This would have been installed in the original Neptune.
You can get a good look at
Cable
this
A.
without zooming at all, as a matter of fact.
I'm not sure when that was.
You get good video and a good look at it. If you zoomed in from 3 meters, it'll just fly right out of the camera.
How's that look there, AJ?
Closer, closer. Yeah, that's a good altitude there, so you can get a little closer. Now you can do like a half zoom, and you'll get.
Okay, you ready?
Yep, go ahead.
AJ's probably happy with that. I would have.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
Okay,
good on the zoom.
that's pretty good. That all looks great.
Go wide video.
Beautifully done.
All right, now we can go to either of the doors on the sides and open those.
I'll come along the side here because I'm already halfway there.
Was that just to check the integrity of the...
The termination, yeah. And to have a record of it.
Are we going to want to hold on to this, or are we just
Yes,
going
we
to...
are, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, you want to get the Orion out, and we'll...
As soon as I get Atlanta sorted out. Take a minute to make sure we're all good with Atlanta, because it was still swinging in a bit. So once we get, you know, into door opening and manipulator, we tend to ignore Atlanta. So I'll usually take a
minute, just let her kind of settle out.
well, take a minute just to make sure it's in the right place and get the camera right and the heading right. So usually the navigator can keep an eye on it, because we're going to be focused on manipulator action.
Roger.
And you know, once we get into that, we tend to completely forget about Atlanta.
It's a pretty cute little octopus.
Where?
Inside, just at the lip.
Oh, totally missed that octo.
There's another one right inside this door.
Really?
Oh my gosh, an octopus surprise behind the door. From this distance, it looks like a granulidin.
Granleodon.
Orion
Yes.
coming out.
Granleodon. I'm actually planning on getting a tattoo of that octopus after this cruise.
I support
Plus-
you.
You can back off a little bit, Danny, while I'm getting the Orion out, so
Okay.
you don't fly in and smack it with the Orion. You want to, while I'm doing this, get a heading sorted out in your mind and get happy on that.
Directly north.
We might want to bring Atalanta a little up too.
Yeah.
You ready, Dan?
I'm just going to adjust Atalanta one more time so it's not yanking on you when we fly in for the crab, as it just did there when I pulled up. Hold on, I'm going to adjust the camera a bit here. Have to be on a certain screen to do a task here, so I can't totally multitask. Okay, you're gonna grab that handle there on the left, the D rubber.
Yep.
Nice and slow. If you want, I can, before you do that, turn on the downline so you can go for it as is. I'll just float up a bit. Yeah, float away and try again. You don't want to adjust your heading while you're doing that.
Nope, I'm not. Go ahead. Oh.
Oh. You can come in and, you know, like land on it with your jaws. So float away and get another run at it. It's all very slow lateral inputs. If you goose it on the lateral, it will wank the heading around.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, so it's, the key is having your heading, having a happy heading, and then you fly in, and as you're going in real slow inputs, if I can see your hand move, it telegraphs, and the manipulator moves, you know.
Yeah, turn down my joy gain.
Half a foot, yeah, 75% or something.
Okay, let's try that again.
Yeah, you got to do fine, easy inputs to the controls. I usually, if I miss, I'll back away and go again. You only got to back away a little bit.
Okay, gonna come right up into you. Come on, come back up.
Yeah, it's also very dusty, so as you can see when you're pulling back, your pilot oscillating there, mate.
Yep. Grab. Go.
Okay, dead stick.
Nice.
Dead stick.
Down light's coming on. Nicely done, Danny. So any adjustments that you make, which we are going to have to make, are going to be done. No, also with your lateral. So now if you, for example, lateral left a little, nice and easy. So no heading, no forward and back, pretty much all laterals.
Just a little lateral gives us a pivot.
Yeah. And just going to touch the wrist here. I'm not sure how good of a bite we have. Yeah, so any up and down, which we're going to have to do, is going to be with the Orion.
Yep.
So I'm going to position the ROV a bit here with the Orion. I'm going to azimuth to the right. I'm going to just push the buttons here until I get it where I want it. Give me a little lateral right there.
Oop.
A little more lateral right. That's good. Then you give a little, just a little ahead and click in your auto heading. The purpose for the ahead is when you click in auto heading to keep, for example, right now the port horizontal thruster is -10. We don't want that. So take off your auto heading, give her a little more forward, and then click it in again.
How's that?
I can deal with that. If when I start wanking on it, it's gonna probably make the thrusters more aggressive. And any if they get really aggressive in reverse, it'll blow out our biz while we're halfway through this, which is probably going to happen anyways, but we'll see how we go here. In theory, I have enough room to open the door, but let's see what happens.
Well, you can always shoulder down on your line to give you more room.
Yeah. Might have to see how we look here.
Creek.
It's all right if the heading's coming off a little.
Yep.
The angle of the doors is...
Look who's home.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, oh yeah.
He's like, I had a nice
That's
home.
funny.
This kind of feels
Want
like
a
a
little lateral?
B&E.
click off your auto heading. And then just gently give me a little lateral right.
I think we're
And
breaking
just
and
hold
entering.
it.
Okay.
You're holding the lateral right, are
Yep. Give me a little, give it a little more shove.
you? Stand by.
Give it all she's got, Captain.
Okay, ease up on your lateral right.
I don't know if they open
Okay, dead
flush.
stick.
That's sick. Looks like it's only a 90-degree hinge.
No, it goes all the way around and they flop open.
Oh, okay.
Just be patient. Not my first rodeo.
Oh, I see.
But it's all caught up in the jaw at the moment, so we're going to give us a second here.
Yep.
Trying to break the craft, which is bad. I tried to let go of it and I couldn't get off it.
You gotta rotate counterclockwise on your jaw.
Give me a little lateral right.
There you go.
So I don't think we need to open the other door, I think we can just try to get some video kind of looking through the door to the inside, get a good shot of the connectors and whatever else we can see. I think that's
Roger.
good enough for our purposes today.
I'm gonna give you azimuth left here.
Yep.
So you just want to give a little more lateral right, maybe. Easy.
Yep.
I'm driving the ROV around. Give me a
So
second here.
yeah,
Okay, give a little forward and lateral right. So you're basically pivoting around on that array in there. It should
Yep.
swing you all the way around. Probably just lateral right.
we'll also camo it all the way to the right. So
Yeah.
the video wants to zoom right there. Then
Nope.
no. Get a little
Lateral
closer?
right. Lateral right. Should swing around. Fly the ROV, not the camera.
Flying on ROV.
It's not coming around, is it? It's because my wrist here.
Let's give it a little more.
Oh, I just bound up on the wrist.
I'm getting really good shots through cinema cam and some good
There you
footage
are.
through main cam, so I think we can close this up.
All happy?
All happy.
Do we
Thank you.
have a moment for a zoom on the octo before we close up? Tote's okay if we
Maybe.
can't do it.
Not really, no. The
Nope.
camera's not at the right angle for...
All good.
I think if you zoomed in right now, it'd look pretty good. It's pretty centered.
You can zoom in a
Go
little
ahead and
there
give me
if
a
you
zoom
want.
video.
That's it.
It's so chill.
I love it.
You want to zoom in me poking the octopus?
He's like, put me home. I want my home back.
Sorry, Octo, it's a B&E.
It's so cute.
It is so cute. Look at like the little swirls of the tentacles.
I know. It was a hard decision figuring out what tattoo I wanted.
Okay, you can relax.
I was just giving you a little lateral left to give you some tension.
I didn't ask for lateral left.
Okay.
Bye, octopus.
But now I want lateral left. Okay, go wide. So the danger here is I get that wrapped around and then it gets, the heavy door gets, traps the manipulator.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the other handle, but I did not.
Once you're halfway, you could probably grab the other handle.
No, if I let go, it slams back open. Okay, I'm going to azimuth right here. I wonder if they slowed that thing down. Just going to do a touch.
That seemed like good speed.
You see what can happen, right? It'll get wrapped around the manipulator. I can't get off it, or it's really ugly to get off it.
Once you pass 90, you can
I've-
probably let go.
I've broken several manipulators on these doors.
Our science manager just came in to let us know that that octopus on the door is actually brooding and there's eggs underneath her.
Can you give me any more lateral left there?
Mama.
Let me give you some more joy gain.
No, I don't want massive amounts of
No,
force.
I'm
Just
not.
if you
That's all she
either
got.
either it comes or it doesn't. Okay, I'm just gonna collect Otherwise, roll the forearm here. Give me a little more. Nope. So let me just check the prop bars here.
You're past center, right? Right.
Maybe. The problem is getting off of it. Give it a go.
Beautiful.
Not really. Big manipulator flying around in your face. Thought it was rather ugly. Okay, Ryan doesn't look too bound up, so you're dead stick there.
Dead stick.
So in theory, are we done here, AJ?
We're done here.
I'm gonna open the jaws, should this float away.
So our next task is to transit to Dead Dog while doing a Norbit survey line. So we'll come up as high as we can to still get decent bathymetry, and then we'll try to track a course to the Dead Dog vent.
You don't want to look on the other side?
No, I think we got a pretty good view of the other side through this one.
Roger.
There's nothing really on that side.
Yeah, there's nothing
you can
there.
see.
You can see
Nobody
it.
home?
Yeah. And we also got a good view of the cable termination through the doors as well. So I'm really happy with that.
Roger.
So are we going to do the Norbit now?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll let Johan set us up here.
AJ, do you want us to move over east a little bit so that we can get
Sure,
this in the scan as well?
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
Okay.
Do we have some... Are we going to try and like maintain altitude for this, or...?
Yes. We're going to try to stay at 30 meters above bottom, so
Okay.
we won't have
Okay, I'm
visual.
coming up.
Come on up.
Yeah, and we'll try to keep a relatively constant
Downlight,
heading.
downlight's coming off. Unless you want to see him down there.
No, you turn them off.
Are we going to
you'll
start from
lose
this
vis
frame?
of the node.
What was that, Steph?
Are we starting from
You
this
can go
frame?
auto XY now, Danny. And auto heading,
Sorry, stand by,
not
Steph.
auto depth. Okay, downlight's going off. Remember, if you're going to adjust auto XY, it's debatable whether you turn it on or off. I typically do same as auto heading. I turn it off. I forget our discussion the other night of what the ramifications were there.
Yeah.
When it works and when it doesn't, whatever Trevor was saying. 30 meters above you now.
Okay.
Okay, Dan. I'd like to move the ship maybe 25 meters east.
So
we can,
which way are we going to orbit?
I think the bearing is 271, pretty much due west. So we'd like to just start the scan with the TRF and continue going.
So we want to do the scan. We want to have Atlanta and Hercules lined up nicely.
Right.
With no, yanking on the tether. So if you move the ship, you're talking east?
East, just so that we
And then we're going to go west?
copy.
Yeah, but we're going to go west, so I don't see any reason to move the ship east.
Just so that we can get the
We can,
TRF in the scan.
while it's static, we can do the scan, 20 meters each side. So I can move Hercules 20 meters east,
Okay.
turn around and get ready to go.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
If you wanted a really good map of this, you would do it from two directions. And since Atalanta's right over it right now, you have that opportunity.
Copy that. That's a great point.
You're not going to get a good 3D model of it with one scan. You got to do, you know what you got to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm holding it 30 meters.
Roger, you have a 20 meter delta. So let's come east about 10 meters and then do 180 counterclockwise. Get
Sounds
set
like a
up for
plan.
the first orbit run. Unless you want to do the north-south one first. You want to do the 2, run over it twice? I would.
Well, he's
I do a north-south run since we're here, and then we can get set up on the east and do the east-west run, and then just take off and do the line.
That sounds great.
Then
Yeah.
you'll get the full, all sides of the.
It'll look real nice.
It'll look really nice.
Yeah. We just have to make sure that we'll have to dial this in, but we're rotating pretty slowly and at a relatively constant.
Yeah, I can rotate
Yeah.
with.
Are you recording already?
Not yet.
Okay, so we'll set up for that.
Johan, can I get a position from where we start, please?
We haven't moved. We're right above it still. We want to set the heading max velocity to 1.
It is.
The max velocity. And you want to set your max V's on X and Y to 0.25. You have auto XY on still?
Yep.
So right now, let's just do a test. If you take the joystick and turn it clockwise, for example. Yeah, deflect the joystick clockwise all the way. And you see your rate of turn on the auto heading?
Yep.
So you see how it's turning super painfully slow?
Yep.
So what that would do is that would give a really slow Norbit scan.
That makes sense.
So normally we don't do that in auto heading because it's yucky video.
But for scanning, it's perfect.
Now you've turned your velocities all the way down, and the steps are currently set at 10 meters, which is probably pretty good. So once he starts recording, we want to have minimal porpoising and heading changes. You can, if you lateral really slow, but any porpoising or rapid heading changes, if you picture an antenna sticking out or a stick sticking out 100 meters on each side of you, one little micro heading change out at 100 meters is a huge change, so it skips a whole bunch of beams.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, so if you get that in your mind, you know, you got a 100 meter stick sticking out at each side of you.
Auto altitude looks pretty good.
Yeah, so we want to move 10 meters, before he starts, we want to move 10 meters north. So currently we're directly above the...
so if I do a step ahead, it'll move 10 meters, right?
Correct.
We haven't started yet though, right?
We have not, we're getting set up.
Okay.
So to answer your question, Steph, we're going to start the first scan from the north to the south, 10 meters north of the frame.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll drop a point.
Thanks, Johan. Do we have like a relative speed that we're keeping for this, or is it more about altitude?
Yeah, let's dial that max speed down to 0.15.
On Y?
Either one, we'll change both of them.
Yeah. For the transit, Rennie said we can probably get up to 0.5 knots.
Yeah, you will not get good Norbit data at 0.5. It's just too much drag through the water and Herc's all over the place, up and down, forward and back.
Copy.
I don't know. We can get up to 0.5 or, yeah, depends on how good a data you want.
Well, how about we start at 0.2, 0.3, see how it looks, and then potentially adjust.
Yeah,
Since
if we get everything, if everything's looking nice, you can see by the data what you're getting. So
Totally.
judge for yourself.
Yeah.
If you try and start out at 0.5 right away, it'll be really ugly.
Okay,
But
so
yeah, 0.25 meters a second is kind of the standard
Copy.
multi-beaming speed
I want to turn
for
around.
experienced multi-beamers, which we are not.
So Dan, I want to turn around face now, south.
Roger.
So I want to go counterclockwise.
Dealer's choice.
Okay, auto heading coming off. Gonna turn around.
Yeah, the reason I discourage that, Johan, is because people say, oh, we can do 0.5. So the boat starts at 0.5 and we start at 0.5, and it's the beginning of the multi-beam data is just absolutely useless because everything takes off, and you can see the data coming in. There's a big gap. So if you get the whole mess slowly moving, you'll get some good data at the start. And it's really tragic if they're, if we're over something where they want good data at the start and we get yuckiness in the beginning.
Totally. Yeah, it is 1,600 meters of transit.
Right.
So we'll, yeah, just see how it goes.
I would probably do our north-south, east-west run with the boat static. And then, or we can actually do a north-south. We can do both if you want really, really good data. We do north-south, turn around, do south-north. Then we go to the west and do west to east. Then we turn around and do east to west, and that could be the start of our survey. So you'll have 4 good passes over the target, 1 from each direction. So you have full coverage both ways. And you'll have a printable 3D model of the,
Dan, would you
in
prefer
theory,
auto altitude or auto depth for this?
auto alt in this case. It's still going to porpoise up and down a lot, but
well, it's pretty flat, my variation, so it looks pretty good.
Roger. Johan, you want to put whatever PC that's on up on the big screen somewhere? Maybe where
Bubble?
bubble is, yeah. On this, here, let me do this first.
So you want Ross proc.
Bounds 2.
It's one of the PCs.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
So
I can bind it to,
I can do that if you want to start. What PC do you got up there?
that's 2.
2, roger, I got it here.
Great. What's up, AJ?
I was just wondering if Rossproc was recording yet.
Right. Are we recording already?
No, not yet. All right.
These slow spins might also be useful to record, more for engineering, knowing that it's flat around the node. Although, like, we know that from the video as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be doing like a 90-degree and then
We're going to start
180.
doing the 90 and then make our way west.
I think the plan is to go south just 20 meters.
Yeah.
And then come over, so turn 90 towards the east, come over here, and
then start our run. Oh yeah, that's
start going.
beautiful.
So we'll get a lot of coverage on this.
Yeah.
What am I doing over here? P8, oh, where is it? Oh, man, oh. What's the name of it again?
Ross proc.
Hercules.
Oh, Hercules.
Okay. Danny, you ready to fly?
I'm ready to push a button.
Excellent.
You're doing 10-meter steps or 20-meter, Dan?
You can just double tap the 10 and it'll,
Okay.
or you can put in a 20 or
going.
whatever.
And we are recording.
All right, survey start.
Okay.
You want to put that in the log, Dan?
We're doing it.
Sure. Norbit got 2 T's or 1?
Just one.
Thank you. Literacy is not a requirement for an ROV pilot.
And we're starting, I heard you guys say we're going to start at 0.2 knots.
Our velocity is set to 0.15 meters
Okay.
per second right now on
0.3
Herc.
knots. Okay.
Yeah. We'll start at, yeah, probably 0.3. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all good. I'm just making notes. Doing my own logging.
Wow.
We really don't know what those numbers mean on the auto XY. There's a long debate on whether they are meters per second or knots. And just when we convince ourselves that they're one or the other.
Looks like the heading is oscillating.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Might want to lower the gain on the heading.
Roger.
On the PID.
I got it, Danny. You just keep an eye on what you're doing there.
I think it was cranked up.
Heading max velocity is 1.0 right now.
Yikes.
Oh, Minecraft land.
I can find the PID.
Can we
loop
put the
settings.
Norbit screen on the quad view, or is that not possible? I can't remember.
Auto
You can put it
XY
out
page?
there.
It's
Auto
right
XY
here
page, I
in
think?
Auto
Let me
XY.
take a look.
Yeah.
Thanks, Anna.
Wow, who set it to 4,000? Was that us?
That's the Norbit, right? Yeah.
It looks like Minecraft land.
Okay, I don't know what Minecraft is, but...
How do you not know what Minecraft is?
I mean, like, I know kind of what it is, but I don't know.
That's all you need. Like, that's all we know.
Think of a very blocky world.
All right.
Yeah.
Everything is made out of a 1x1 block.
Is that,
Neat.
Seems like it's settling out a little
Yeah.
better.
Got a couple questions in the question box. Is this a good time to address them?
No.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay, I'm done with that first turn.
great.
So I want to turn to 90.
we
very
want to
slowly.
do that same run again, so we want to do a south to north run.
Okay, and I'm slowly turning
okay.
around, right?
Yeah, with your auto heading turn.
Auto heading's on, so I'm just going to start turning to
Counterclock.
counterclockwise. Nice and slow.
Counterclockwise. Or no, you're going clock. You're doing right.
Doing clockwise, I'm taking the wrap out of my
Yeah,
turn.
yeah, I get those backwards every time. Is that too fast, Johan?
I think so.
Yeah, slow. Don't give it half command there. It's got to be like painfully slow.
I can drop the
Yeah.
heading change.
No,
says
just
one.
don't give it full joystick command.
Gotcha.
You're watching your little dot there, so you want to move like a second hand.
How's that?
I don't know, you have to ask the Norbit experts.
There are none in this room. It's looking a lot better. Maybe still a little slower would be great.
Yeah, basically as slow as you can, Danny. Like the second hand of a clock stuck in slow motion. What he's looking at, see the end of the beams there on the...
Yeah. It's got a
So you see the big gaps?
Slough every time I rotate.
Yeah, but he's probably getting good coverage over the node, which is what we care about. We don't really care about what's 175 meters out. At least I don't. LNC probably doesn't. Johan, when you get a chance there, could you put the winch up and
Yes.
somewhere? Put it up where 180 cam is. We don't need that up.
Which one's 180?
Bottom left
down
here.
on the deck, copy.
Yeah. Okay, it's going to take Danny a half an hour to make a 180 turn, so now's a good time for...
Thanks, Dan.
Sorry, we were just getting set up to
Yeah, no, you
turn
don't.
and do our south to north thing, so...
Yeah, no need to be sorry at all. Got to make sure we're on track. Don't want to get lost. One of the questions we received earlier was when Ronke dialed in from the lounge. So on board the Nautilus, we do have a lounge. It's a really nice, cozy space with couches and TVs and where we can watch the dive streams. Or Twilight, if we know how to get the machine working. Anna and I try to have a movie night on one of the weather days.
Apparently Monica knows how to work it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
It's running on Kodi for, if you want to figure it out, you go to the Kodi website and it'll give you the constructions. Kodi is a media server that's running on a Raspberry Pi in there.
Oh, cool.
It's a free version of Plex, basically, or probably was around before Plex.
Yeah, Cody's been around forever.
Well, we are expecting some weather days, so maybe our Twilight movie night will...
Which one, though?
The first one.
All of them.
All of them? Do we have them all?
Dan's in for all of them.
Which one's your favorite, Dan?
Okay,
Hold on, AJ, what do you need?
we're still communicating up here, so...
I'm sorry.
What do I need?
Did you say Danny?
No,
No.
sorry.
Oh.
I was
Was
piling on
Johan.
the Twilight
Oh,
train.
God. I am
Oh.
hearing...
Twilight.
I heard like 6 different conversations in my ear, so...
Yeah, we can walk off the script a little bit, but remember we still have to communicate up here, so if it gets too loud, we can't hear each other.
Johan?
Yeah, I think that's good coverage. It looks like you kind of rotate back a little bit every time you move forward.
Yeah, it's doing a weird thing.
Yeah, the auto XYs are...
It overshoots, it like catches up and then overshoots and then jumps back.
the footprint is what it is, so it's similar to Nautilus. It's not 100%. There is a footprint because Hercules only has the way the thrusters are set up on Hercules, it doesn't have enough, and we don't have an INS, so it can't hold position exactly. In Auto XY, it wanders around. And even though there's probably 0 external forces on it right now, because the tether's going straight up and then straight back down, there's still current, and there's some bit of forces being telegraphed through the Atlanta bounce. But without 4 vectored thrusters, it doesn't hold it perfectly. So you'll get some smear, and then the control system is not, optimally dialed in for this. If you are a ROS person, you bring up Plot Juggler, which Jake probably has going on in the background there. It'll really make your head spin, because if you look at the velocities, they're not pretty. I encourage you not to do it because it will make your head spin.
Noted.
You can look at them in post, so it's recording all the other thing that helps the pilot when we're free flying, which we're not, is to have velocity indicators. So hopefully Quincy will give us velocity indicators on the nav screen, which we usually have. Oh my God, you're taking a long time to turn.
You told me half second per degree.
Yeah, I think if we just maybe complete this rotation and then turn towards our desired heading and
I want to do the north-south.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, I want to do it.
Roger.
I don't care much about the turn, but this is good to practice the turn. But yeah, bring it on around to the south, Danny.
Okay, speeding up.
See what kind of coverage we get. You know, pick a circle, Johan, 50-meter radius. They don't care what's out 100 meters, but you'll get that good coverage on the north-south anyways, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we were doing a turn at the top of a line where you were just sweeping one of your arms around trying to get that coverage, I could see taking the time to do the super, super slow. But now you know how to do it. What we're talking about there, kids, is if you see the Minecraft world there, now that Danny's sped up his turn, you see the big gaps out at the end of the arms, which is out probably 100 meters or so. So as we were going slow, it was getting some better coverage, but now that we're going faster, it's...
And then we're going to cross over this in another 90 degrees before we're done with it.
We still have better coverage closer in. The gaps aren't as big, but there's still gaps, and you know, there's still pieces of the pie missing.
This part of the survey is also kind of an engineering survey, so that we know that there's flat areas around the node for us to put infrastructure. It's not scientific, so it's kind of like, as long as it's practically discernible, it's good enough.
Because we're going to go over this in 4 different directions, AJ, you'll get good data 50 meters out, or
yeah,
100 meters out.
I think it looks great. Like, small gaps aren't going to result in big, massive spires that mean we can't put infrastructure there, so we're fine with small gaps.
We'll cover the gaps when we do the north-south runs. It's just the, so when you're doing a turn like this, for example, at the south, you're getting a sweeping arc, you know, 100 meters out to the south, or 50 meters out to the south, probably, of decent data, right? Because we're not going to fly forward and backwards 50 meters south, so it is a legit slow turn in that aspect.
So for any viewers that are just tuning in, we are diving at Middle Valley. And the goal for this dive is just to survey the area to see if where we can put new infrastructure in the future. And we are currently mapping our way over to the Dead Dog vent fields using the Hercules Norbit. Does Norbit stand for anything, or is that just the name of the multi-beamer?
We tend to call things by their manufacturer name.
Ah, okay.
It's a non-list thing. Instead of a multi-beam sonar, we call it Norbit, which is the company who makes it.
Got it.
Okay, we're looking, are you north-north?
Almost.
You'll have to keep commanding it, and then when you let go, it'll grab your current heading. Just like that. You see the little dot jump back to the north?
Yeah, I noticed that already.
So if Johan's ready, we're ready for a 20-meter step to the north.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Here we go. North like turtles.
Minecraft world.
Voxels, we call them. Jake, are you on? You on
He
comms?
stepped out.
If you turn on, I believe it's under odometry there in the RViz, you will get the velocity indicators, but it might slow that thing down enough and it might, RViz tends to arf.
It's on a potato PC, so.
Where are you seeing?
There's a menu on the left side of RViz, so if you come down halfway in the RViz window, see a little arrow there? Not that one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that guy.
Copy. Secret menu.
And click odometry up there. It's about a third of the way down. Red icon, yeah. That'll slow the model down a bit, but if you zoom in now, you should see some, zoom in on Herc. So you see the little velocity arrows? So he's doing a razor straight line. Those velocity arrows will change, or they'll smear as Herc drifts left or right or up or down. So if we were free flying this, the pilot uses those because we have no seabed reference, so can't tell if we're drifting left or right, up or down.
Yeah.
Off the USBL position. But often we'll, like Quincy has that, and so does Chris's nav solution, the author of this.
How far north are we planning on going?
This
Just
is it.
here.
We're just doing 20-meter steps
Okay.
So just about.
And then you want me
back
to
where we started. So we'll get coverage, AJ, north and south, then we'll come to the east.
Yeah, I don't think we need to spend too long getting this coverage. I think what we've got is pretty good.
Roger.
Okay.
This is also
So
for,
rotate.
returning which way?
we're
Just
gonna,
still want the east swipe?
I do.
Okay. So turn east, come to the east.
You want a slow turn or you want a fast
180.
turn?
Slow turn.
Yeah.
Not too slow.
Okay. Hold on, I've still got a 0.17 to go on this. Not there
No
yet.
problem.
Wait for Hook to level out. Okay. Turning.
So we want to be 10 meters on the west side now.
You want me to turn east or west?
I want you right here.
Okay. And I'm turning west, not east.
Roger. You could come around to 225. We'll cut the corner. Come around to 225 and do it.
Do a crossover.
Yeah. The other thing you can do is keep that heading. Let's do this. Keep your north heading. Here, I'll drive it. When you're back to the north, let me know. Save a little time here. Close enough. Okay, let go of it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a step aft and a step port.
Oh, yeah, no, do a cross.
It won't be the prettiest one, but we don't care. We're getting enough coverage here. And
Yeah.
typically in an orbit survey or photogrammetry, the back row starts getting impatient.
I think we're being very patient. I'm enjoying the show.
Roger. Just think about the awesome data you're going to get.
Yeah, it looks cool already.
It's going to be flat with a node in the middle.
Yeah, so if you get double coverage on an object, you know, you get 2 passes one way and then 2 passes perpendicular. If you've ever done any photogrammetry with your iPhone or with your drone or an ROV, it's all the same. It's, you know, we're not doing anything new here. Sorry, not photogrammetry. Map-wise, 3D model-wise. It's just new to do it with an ROV at crazy couple kilometer depth.
The more pixel density, the better the resolution.
Yeah, so for example, with my DJI, I turn it on and I get, make a map using photogrammetry, but then get a 3D model. But the more coverage you get, the better the model. Okay, Danny, now you can, let's turn your heading counterclock if you can.
Yep, to 270.
Roger. And we'll cheat a little bit and we'll do the west to east one backwards, which Jake or K2 would be crying we're not getting the best coverage because Herc doesn't fly backwards perfectly, but you're still getting the coverage, so it'll cut a little time for the back row there. I can hear the AJ's wanting to get on with it.
Yeah.
Well, if you want good data, it takes time.
Yeah. Garbage in, garbage out. Gold in, gold out.
There's a compromise there if it's not
There
a
is.
scientific survey.
Yeah, so we're compromising a bit. We're going to get Herc set up on the survey heading, which, if I'm not mistaken, is west.
271.
Yep. All good.
And then we're just going to do a step backwards 20 meters, and then we'll get set up for the, that'll put us in a good position to start moving the ship in Atlanta and the whole mess.
Okay.
And
Are we still going to these vents? Are we at these vents? Oh. Oh, okay. Who named these vents, by the way? Dead Dog is maybe the worst name we've encountered so far.
Yeah, I noticed
Steve
that.
told us a story that like when they were discovering these vents, somebody on the cruise or like in Alvin, like their dog died. And
Oh.
so someone was like, okay, we'll name the
Dude.
vent. Like, why don't you name it the name of the dog?
Yeah,
That is
that's
so
just
morbid.
like, yeah, it's like rubbing it in their face. Like you could have named it, you know, Fletcher, for example, like Dirk's dog, but no. It's like
okay,
dead
that's
grandma.
looking good, Danny. You can do, if Johan's ready, we can do a double tap aft.
You
I'm
ready,
ready.
Johan?
Oh, yeah.
Johan's on it. So question, oh yeah, you can, while we're doing that, if you zoom in, you'll see the history of the velocity arrows there. So one thing we're also doing that's interesting to the crowd, if you click that little left arrow again, you'll get, it'll hide that menu. You can actually full screen that thing if you want, but you can see the history of Herc and what the velocities were, like how much it wiggled on the line. So all that's being recorded. So when we play this back, you'll be able to look at how, you know, what Herc did. That's true for all of our models. Sorry. Is it annoying clicks on the comms?
That's less. But the pen was like echoing in my ear. I could hear it in this ear and that ear.
Which way should I turn Atlanta? Counter? Dealer's choice?
I mean, we're at 0 turns right now, so
I'm gonna turn this way to.
And you're
gonna,
perfectly in view.
I'm gonna look north because I'm to
Yeah.
the south of you a little. It'll be less likely to tangle the tether up.
Yep.
While you're doing all this hocus pocus here. No way, I can watch it as you fly by.
Hook has his backup beeper on.
Beep, beep.
Okay, we're pretty well done there.
No, you got a few more meters to go. 2.3 meters to go, to be exact. 2 meters, 1.9, 1.8, 1.7, 1.6. 1 meter to go. What I was going to ask you, Johan, do you want to keep recording, or do you want to start a new file for the, from a processing point? Is it easier to?
It's probably easier to separate. Which,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Jake, do you agree?
Are we like moving significantly away from the location?
Yeah, we're going to go like 1 kilometer away. So what we've done is a north-south and an east-west run. And we did 145, and we did 1 slow turn and 1 not slow turn. So you're going to have a whole bunch of data right here over the frame.
Yeah, this is a separate, like, a separate goal. Then yeah, it makes sense to just
Copy.
Save this file and then
it's
start
not
a new
too
one.
big of a deal either way. But
Can you just let me know when you're going to stop it?
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
going to stop it.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what Johan is doing is saving all of this data that we just took in a file, and then we'll start a new file for the long survey.
Are we pretty much just back at the frame?
We are 10 meters east of the frame.
I drew a big 4.
If you look at the ROV nav screen, Atalanta is 10 meters south of the frame. You can kind of see an X or a...
Yeah.
4.
Hey, you made my initials there, DC at
I
45.
did.
And you can see the circle that we did around the frame, all of our history there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I drew a perfect triangle. That is awesome.
You didn't. The computer did.
Yeah, so a quick overview for our viewers who are asking what we're doing on the computer screen. We're essentially using the Hercules to map the seafloor around a trawl-resistant frame that goes around our node, which supply power and connectivity to our devices. We are currently at Middle Valley, just checking out the lay of the land for future potential infrastructure deployment. After this, we are transiting over to a vent field site called Dead Dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we're ready to launch Norbit again. Are you guys ready to start the ship going? And then,
We're just going directly east, directly west.
yeah, 271.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Or would you
what I
like to
got.
come across and then start the ship?
At the end of the day, Johan, we'll get better data if Atalanta's directly behind Hercules. Because
Okay.
as we're moving the whole mess through the water column, if Atalanta's directly behind Hercules, there's less drag on the tether and the football floats, so it won't keep pulling Hercules heading around as we're doing the transit.
Are we keeping the...
So you might want to do a 10-meter move to the north.
Are we keeping the parameters for this survey more or less the same?
Yes.
Okay. Can you also drop a pin for where we start?
Sure.
Thank you. Or a pin, a position.
I'd plug in that vessel move now, and then when we take off, Atalanta will eventually swing in.
Okay. Bridge nav. 10 meters due north, please. Copy, 10 north.
And yeah, while we're moving down the line, you can make give Oreo bearing changes to keep Atalanta 10 meters behind Herc.
Copy.
And then once we start the line, Danny, you'll have to play with those max V's. So the challenge here, starting out, is we have to get Nautilus moving, and we have to get Atalanta moving. And you have to get good, constant, coverage without getting your tether too tight or too loose.
So should we just have the ship continue on a course, or?
Yeah, once we get the whole mess moving through the water column, so Atlanta's doing a constant speed or a constant velocity,
Yeah.
then it will become a little easier for you. It's challenging in the beginning to stay in the box, as it were, or to stay our distance off.
Johan,
Yeah.
can you put up that Norbit end
Sure.
position again, please? Thank you. We haven't started the next one yet, right?
No, we have not.
Okay, good.
We're waiting for Atalanta to get in position.
We don't have to wait. It'll kind of swing in. We'll just wait for the vessel move, and then then you can start the vessel move to the west.
I'm just proud of that circle I drew with freehand.
Do 10 more of those, and I won't give you a lot of grief for the one that you don't do perfect. It takes 10 perfect circles to make up for one egg. It's just kind of a thing in this business. You're only as good as your last goof.
Yeah.
People remember you for what you didn't do well, not for what you did well.
Exactly. I remember you for the bent gladius, not the 6 gladiuses that ran perfectly.
Exactly.
Okay, that ship move is complete.
Roger.
So I'll start up Norbit, and then we're ready to start moving.
Yeah, we're ready to move
Sounds
the ship.
great.
Starting it now,
Right.
Johan?
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
So you want to do how many steps forward?
What you want to do is stay 10 to 20 meters in front of Atalanta. So I would start out with the 10-meter clicks, and they stack. So
Yeah.
it'll be easy once everything's moving. Then you can put in, you can click it 10 times or whatever. It's just a start that we got to manage. Sometimes we start manually. That's why I was having Jake do manual flight the other day.
Yeah.
Are these our starting coordinates, Johan?
This will be the starting coordinate, correct?
I'll help you
Great.
play with it once we get going.
All right, ready for the ship?
Yeah, we're ready.
Bridge, nav. Can we track a
depth
line
right now?
at bearing 271, please? Copy, at 0.3 knots. Copy.
You might want to let him know we're going to do that for a kilometer, so if he wants to play with his head at all.
Okay. Oriel, just to update you, we plan to track this line for about 1.6 kilometers. So if you need to adjust your heading or anything, we can do that. Roger that.
So we'll stand by for him to get his heading fixed.
We'll stand by for Atalanta to start moving. Like I say, your challenge is going to be to keep that nice offset from Atalanta. And Atalanta has a mind of its own, no matter what Nautilus does. So you're going to want to auto XY, razor straight, and with a somewhat constant velocity, with the vehicle you're tethered to with an unknown velocity.
Yeah.
Johan's probably better at predicting what Atlanta's going to do than I am.
So Atlanta's over top of Herc now.
Yep. But I'm watching the tether, so as you fly by, I'll change Atalanta's.
Give me that third-person view we had last night.
Yeah, and it's okay to like change your speed. Like ideally, you would want to make Rennie's life easier when he processes data. You'd want a constant speed.
So should I just do 0.1 instead of 0.15?
We'll see. I don't know what Atlanta's going to do, Danny. I'm just kind of.
He's making a heading change.
Yep.
Yeah, you can start out at 0.1 if you want. The starts are always messy, so often we do a 50-meter standoff or some standoff. On the other side of the at the end of the line, there's an overlap or an overrun. So you account for that. So if you wanted like a super sweet data going over this node, we would start way off to the east. So that way everything's at a constant speed and heading by the time you do the start of line. I forget what the term for that is. It's a run up or run in or something like that. So if you're mowing the lawn, you keep going past the end point because they're going to chop all that data out because it's going to be yucky, right? So you have everything nice and smooth. Then you keep going, do your turn, get all lined up, get the vessel lined up, all that. And depending on the vessel and the conditions, that can take a significant amount of time and space.
Okay.
We're kind of winging it here to start out 10 meters.
Ship still moving?
He just finished his heading changes and plugged in that ship move, or the line tracking, so we should see it start to move.
Okay, then we better get started.
You're waiting for Atalanta, mate.
Yep, I'm waiting for Atalanta.
If you scroll up a little on your Grafana page there, you can see what the ship is doing. He's got 0.3 dialed in, does he? Or he's got 0.5, it looks like.
I believe 0.3.
Roger. I just saw the half a knot there on the ship speed over ground.
I think he was just turning, so it looked like he was moving faster.
Yeah, it jumps a little bit sometimes.
So we've got the ship lined up, we got Atalanta lined up.
Yep, we are broad to the wind, and we're experiencing 17 knots, so we may get blown off a little bit. Yeah. And we'll have to adjust. We'll keep it as straight as possible.
Yeah, so one thing you don't want to do here is change your heading. So if you do get pulled off the line a little, that's okay. Any
Heading is locked in at 266.
Yeah, so you might have to, like if Atalanta starts getting pulled off, you might have to slowly lateral, or you can click in a
Step starboard.
Yeah. You saw what I did here to make that 45?
Yeah.
And amazingly enough, if you're doing slow velocity moves over a not very large area, Herc will, totally auto XY in any direction.
So I'll start moving when Atalanta almost out of frame.
And if you zoom back in there, Johan, to give us those 10-meter boxes.
Yeah.
Thank you. You could probably zoom again and it'll stay 10 meters, I think.
Yeah, do you want to go all the way? Or?
I zoom in until it, and then zoom out one usually.
Oh, I see. Get the smallest 10-meter boxes.
Yeah, you'll see the boxes change to something else, and then I'll click one scroll wheel out.
Roger. Yeah, you can see we're already off course a little bit.
Yeah, it'll take a while to get the whole mess moving down the line. thus the offset.
Well, I can see Atalanta starting to swing.
Yeah, you'll also see it visually start to move. So you can help Johan out, Danny, by keeping an eye on the ship's speed over ground and course over ground. We want to catch it if he does start coming off. So we can, because we have a lot of coverage north and south with Norbit, so we don't necessarily have to be right on the line.
I gotcha.
You just want a good line. Randy will cut a lot of the data off the edge, but he'll want to, provide the ONC with the data on the survey line. So we have some latitude there. That's one thing we're hoping for with Quincy is to be able to get Atalanta speed over ground. Right now we can, we could just judge it graphically from how it's moving on the nav screen. I really wanted it here so we could match all of them.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate we don't have it. We're doing stuff like this. So Atalanta's moved 5 meters now. Looks like she's starting to go. So I would start with a double tap.
We started, guys?
We are going to start.
Starting just as soon as Danny clicks it.
3, 2, 1. Begin survey.
Beautiful. Love the countdown. Thank you.
Or, as we say in the trade, start a line.
We are moving. Norbit's all good to go?
Norbit's all good.
Well, Norbit's been recording data on that one spot for a while, hasn't he?
Can you zoom in just a bit on the nav screen for me?
Roger.
More. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe one click out so I can see the back of the ship.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Okay. We're getting blown a little northwest.
Increase your velocity to 0.2.
0.2?
Yeah. Does Oreo have a line to follow?
What was that?
Does Oreo have a line to follow?
I selected the target of where we're going.
If you ask him if he can, it would be nice to keep the ship directly west of Atalanta and Hercules on the line.
Copy that.
He doesn't have a line, but he's got an imaginary line.
Bridge nav. Hi, Oriel. I selected the target for where we're going. You can see that it's at a bearing of 270. And if possible, we'd love to keep the ship kind of directly in front of Atalanta and Hercules. You can see behind you on that line. Copy. Yes.
Basically what you're doing, Oreo, is you're dragging Atalanta down a line east, or to the west there. We're trying to keep it on a straight line. We're doing a multi-beam survey. You got to tow your fish straight. Keep the wire. It'll help us if all the wires are directly behind the ship, so we get good multi-beam data.
Definitely.
Okay, increase your velocity to 0.25. So you want to get out in front of Atalanta now. You need to step forward, that's why. So you want to keep your goal to go something so you can stack in a few now, Danny. I wouldn't do too many, maybe 50.
Stepping forward.
That's why we weren't catching up. Sorry, my bad, I should be watching.
Oh, X and Y are backwards. Okay, that's what's going on.
What's X and Y with?
Well, Y you think would be forward and back.
No, X is forward.
That makes no sense. You're talking to a machinist. X is always my horizontal travel.
Johan,
Yeah.
at this speed, how long will it take us to get to Dead Dog?
You can see on high pack, if
X, Y,
Oriole
and
keeps
Z.
the speed, about 2 hours.
Roger. I'm going to go for coffee.
Roger.
L'Oreal,
good?
you're
Front
about 20 meters off the line to the north. If you could
Macro's good too.
crab back down to the south while you're making your way west, that'd be great. Yeah, but I want that course over ground to be directly in front of Hercules, which is, so Atlanta's 10 meters north of Hercules right now, and the ship is 20 meters north of Hercules. So if you can adjust your course over ground to the southwest, that would be great. Okay, Danny, decrease your velocity to 0.2. Oriole hasn't done much of this too, so we're gonna have to, I'm gonna give him some help here.
I'm going to put in another couple steps.
Yeah, keep them stacked up there. That's a good offset from Atalanta for this, 10 meters.
Is this a 2-hour survey?
Probably, yeah,
Wow.
at least an hour.
Okay.
Kilometer an hour, that's a good kind of rule of thumb.
Okay.
Taking into account all of our many variables up here. Mostly what the ship's trying to do.
I'm just going to step out for a second, but if we pause or anything, Johan, can you just get coordinates for that, please?
Will do.
Thank you.
So Dan, it looks like you're right underneath me, over top of me, and I've got a 28 meter delta. You want to bring my delta down?
Nope. Okay, really want to. It's typically the delta we run when we're right over the top. But since we're moving, we can have 0 delta. All the tether will be streaming behind us. We'll hold a 20 meter delta, Danny.
20 meter delta sounds good to me.
While we're moving, we don't have to worry about the tether as much because it's streaming behind us in theory.
I understand. We've done these lines doing video surveys.
Yeah, same thing.
We do a lot of transects with
Hi, Oriole. I just drew a line in HiPAC for you that we would love to follow as close as possible. Thank you.
We call that a run line in the trades. If you had a fancy ship, Oreo, you could just put follow sub and you would ship would auto-magically stay ahead of us.
now you're confusing him.
Totally. He's actually pretty switched on.
Yeah, he's got it.
I think we've got a good speed going, and it looks like Adelanta's following along.
Well, he's playing around with it. He knows what he needs to do. I might think about decreasing your
1.7, 0.17,
0.15.
0.15.
Yeah, you don't want to get too far ahead. You can see the tether pulling us around a little, wiggling our head.
Yeah.
Now you can pull up that plot juggler if you want. I think Chris has a shortcut there for you, doesn't he? Doesn't he have a shortcut in his launch GUI there?
In the GUI?
In his Chris's launch GUI, I think there's the Hercules launch. I thought he had a shortcut for us.
Plotting tool. Down at the bottom. In the Hercules launch.
Sorry. Where are you looking, Jake?
Plotting, right above your cursor. Plotting tool. Start.
Okay.
You don't want to see the change log. Tell that to Foxtrot Oscar.
And then streaming.
You basically got on the left, you're going to have some options there.
Start it up.
What's the drop down the UDP server? See that? It says UDP server.
Down just a little.
Sorry, I can barely hear you, Jake.
It says UDP server right there. The drop down. Yeah, Ross topic subscriber. That's what you want.
Okay.
And then start. And then
It's going to be the odometry. Topics there somewhere.
Here.
Or no, it might be a cryptic. What do you call your heading? Give me a second.
you can also just
I can't quite make it out.
you can look at Octan's heading. HercNav sensors Octan's heading.
Copy. Octane's heading.
Yeah. And then you have to like select it on the left and
Oops.
Down in the white box.
that one, yeah. Keep going, keep going. And then
Is this in the packet? I have that.
orientation. It might be orientation. Yeah.
XYZ. Or yaw.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah.
Yaw.
Sure.
Yeah.
Try it.
Okay. Yep. No,
Okay. And that's all?
You can just drag it into the box, can't you, Jake? There you go. So you can put a whole bunch of those in there, play around with the different windows and stuff. There's different amplitudes and stuff. You can play with it. So you're seeing also the time, the speed down there. You slow the speed down. Or increase it one way or the other, I forget. You'll get a pretty sine wave, and right now it's auto.
Yeah, it's tracking.
Yeah. You know what you want to see there.
Hey, ROV, when we get a minute, would you mind firing up the bar support so I can just do a quick check on that? That ground faulting port, you know the one.
Roger. Ground fault coming on.
Thanks.
Yeah, but if Johan zooms way out on it, stops auto scaling, it won't look so bad.
Yeah. Good.
Obviously his first plot juggler rodeo.
First Norbit, first plot juggler.
Okay, Dan,
Thank
you can
goodness
turn
Jake
that
is
off.
here.
That looks good to me, 1.7 degrees C.
Roger.
Thank you.
Jake knows plot juggler. He just doesn't. He just does it. He just goes for it. I know plot juggler, but not well enough to be able to tell you what to do from not being able to read the screen. I just push buttons till I get what I want.
You want in here, Jake? I've been sitting here for 2 hours.
You want to decrease your velocity a bit there for a minute? You're getting 25 meters away.
0.1.
I don't know. It looks okay on.
I thought it looked okay, but
Yeah. So we want to watch the tether too. So I think you're fine. Yeah.
I think 0.12 is going to be our magic number, though.
It's going to change.
Here, Jake.
Okay, I've had enough of plot juggler. You can turn that thing off. We're streaming that out to the world, so you could make it full screen so they get a cool Minecraft experience.
Sure thing.
It will help us if it's a static third-person view or whatever, that one.
Side view,
I don't know,
back
Jake's,
view,
whatever Jake wants.
top view.
I personally like to see the velocity lines. I don't really care about the data, but those arrows. But obviously that's a direct conflict with what the navigator wants.
I can look at my high pack and be happy.
the velocity arrows help us judge, Johan, if the ROV is starting to get tugged or
Right.
if it's, you know, porpoising up and down or what's happening with it. Yeah, something like that. So I don't know. So there is some solution where you can see those and the data. It's looking pretty good though to me.
Okay. Although this side doesn't have the noise in the background.
Yeah. It also, we can, if we were in radical terrain there, we're actually using the Norbit to adjust the ROV's altitude.
Someone.
I'll take 5, Jake, and then
Roger.
I can come back and sit there if you want to play with. If you want to
PADs.
go off into Johan Norbit land.
Yeah, take it over.
Oh, Jake's in PID tuning land.
Did we actually locate the, what is it, 858G, I think, the cork? Or are we just still on our way towards that 858G waypoint?
We are just starting our transit over.
This.
Oh, okay. So we're nowhere near there.
Nowhere near there. Everything looks good, Jake. Just keep an eye on your
Delta?
yeah, and your velocities,
Velocity?
trying to
Yeah.
stay out. So,
Yeah,
let's say Oreo. Oreo, that's a beautiful, beautiful line you're tracking there. So Oreo's got, yeah, that's awesome. That's gonna get some magical data for us. Thank you.
How far is this survey? How far? About a kilometer or something? Is that what you said?
1,300 meters.
1,300?
Yeah.
We have played with the, instead of pot juggler, you can also blow up Grafana here.
I think I got the heading. I think I got it dialed in.
Yeah.
At some point,
You can just watch it instead of, if you watch plot juggler, I think it's too much, and we're tail chasing. If you actually watch the oscillations on the, you know, watch the raw numbers there, you can do the same thing.
yeah, at some point in this cruise, all the PID gains got messed up. So I went back to what it was set at the beginning of the cruise.
The default gains.
The heading is, yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, we had tuned the depth back to what it was.
What are they now then?
That was right. And then the XY I increased a little bit to what it was back in the beginning of the cruise, and then the heading is all the way up. And so it's
So we should document those. Did you take a picture of them now?
I think I left my phone on the table. So.
I'll grab it.
Johan, do you know if Rennie came up with a plan for the using those maps that I sent him? I think you were there when I sent him a bunch of maps that. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy?
Yeah, you've got a plan of a rough idea plan, right? No.
In terms of what we're doing when we get there?
Yeah.
I was told that the two objectives are taking a bunch of gas tights. We have those 3, and then doing a formal kind of mow the lawn orbit survey over the extent of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have about 2 hours till we get there. I figured we would maybe go right to the vents and start some gas tights.
Yeah, I guess the only firm position we have is the cork 858G is right close to something called Chowder Hill, a bump of some sort.
Okay.
That may be venting, should be venting, could be venting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we locate that, then we'll see how, I think we can find that spot. It may be more wise to do a survey after that to see if there's other bumps that we can, because other ones could be a little bit far off. We're just trying to get a sense of how the field's doing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we're heading.
So we'll get there. We'll see how long all that stuff takes. I think there might be a drop dead time.
Roger.
And I hear now that the concept of an actual dead dog might be mythical. And
Steve, I'm going to jump in here just a second.
Go ahead.
Anna, what are you doing right now? You're not doing any video stuff, are you?
I'm not doing any video stuff.
Why don't you come over here and sit in the Atalanta chair and keep Jake company. You might need a second hand.
Cool.
Ooh, Anna's upgrading to the ROV chair.
If the dead dog name is a myth, then can we change it?
No.
Is ROV top of the food chain?
No, I can't remember how I heard it. I think I heard it through either Ropost or directly from Verena Tunnicliffe, because it was her dog that reputedly, mythically, meme-like was the dead dog.
Meme-like.
Meme-like. Do we have a name for this dog? Like, can we name it after the dog?
I don't know, but I think Katie online was amongst some of the people who last visited it anyway. And there's also a puppy dog heading.
Yeah, Dr. Katie actually
Is
wrote
it dead
in
puppy?
saying no. No, just south of the dead dog vent is the puppy dog.
Am I coming through on SPL?
Cool. Puppy dog vent, which is higher temperature, and they named it that because the vent field is a bush of tube worms that look like a furry dog.
Cute.
There you go.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Thanks, Katie, for being patient with us as we find time to
To the right.
address this.
Whoa.
So you can adjust that.
These days, with
Going straight.
truth being a little bit of a complicated thing,
Wait, this does right here?
See,
the other story was,
degrees minus 10
this is a story, of course,
Cool.
You can try
was that it was Verena's dog had died during the cruise
see the gold
back before the 2014 cruise
and then
when
the
it was
camera
named.
on
But
Atlanta, you'll see it like the vehicle adjusts.
obviously, I would suspect I would have to defer to Katie, who was actually there.
And to the viewer asking about the Norbit map going on the big screen, I don't think we can currently get that on.
It's on the screen.
It is on the screen. This is for the viewers.
Yeah, it's right there. Satellite feed 3.
Yes.
Yep.
They were asking about it being put on the bigger screen, but we have channel 1 is the main Hercules feed, and channel 2 is the Atalanta feed. So channel 3 will be the only place to see the ROV mapping right now.
There's, you just zoom,
And then, the other
zoom
thing,
into that.
the other thing that an Atalanta pilot usually watches is the delta depth. So we have it displayed there, and also there it's the same number, but that's basically the separation between the vehicles vertically. So it can kind of see in the camera the tether, we're kind of getting a little low. So what you would do is you would haul in on the winch. So when you pull back here, you can see the winch start to spool
Ooh.
in cable.
Cool.
And you can start off by doing it slowly and getting a feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to try doing that, and then so you watch the winch and then also watch your delta, you can come up like a couple meters.
It's moving.
If you're wondering
job,
what
Anna.
the bottom left screen is showing on the
Yeah.
quad
If it's
view
red, is
on
that a
channel
problem?
3,
Not
that
really, it's more
is
of a warning.
the ROV Hercules' multi-beam
Cool.
sonar. Multi-beam sonar, we call it the Norbit. It is actively mapping out the seafloor for us right now as we transit over to the Dead Dog vent site.
So, what is my ideal height for the Atalanta?
It depends on what we're doing, but right now, since Atalanta's kind of just above and behind Hercules, we tend to be a little bit higher, so like, yeah, 20 to 25 meters.
Mm-hmm.
If we were kind of stretched out and Atalanta was a lot further behind, we would lower the delta to get more like scope.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be more like 10 to 15 meters or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a constant game of just like moving levers and turning things around. And,
Nice. Yee. Fun.
yeah. And then the other thing you have control on with Atalanta is the tilt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little unresponsive. We're having some communication errors, but the green is the goal angle,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is like the actual position. So if I were to click down here, the camera would start to tilt down, and you can see that's the camera there next to the gauge.
Mm-hmm.
So if I start moving the camera down, you'll see the camera angle start to tilt. You can see it's kind of like, because it has some communication issues.
Mm-hmm.
But you can you can tilt this up and down, try to keep Hercules in like the center of the frame.
All right.
So those are like the three main controls for an Atalanta pilot. Is the Atalanta tilt, changing the heading, and then also the winch.
Nice. Okay. So just generally I want to stay straight on Hercules. So right now I feel like Hercules is a little bit angled this way. So should I turn a little bit?
You can play around with it, see, kind of try and get a feel for it.
All right. Actually, let's see. All right.
And as we're transiting over to the vent site, our video engineer Anna has hopped on the Atalanta controls.
Yeah, this is fun. Jake's teaching me some stuff about piloting the sled. It's really fun.
And you can see, so like the way this works is there's two thrusters, one on the front and the back of Atalanta.
Mm-hmm.
And when you change your heading, one of them will spin like this way, one of them will thrust that way,
Mm-hmm.
so it'll cause it to rotate. So you can see the thrust there. So what the thrusters are doing when you change or like add a new heading goal of plus 10 degrees.
Yeah. What does FL and AL mean?
That's we call it forward lateral and aft lateral, because they're laterally oriented on the vehicle.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Anna, are you gonna crash Atalanta?
There's like a lot to crash into, so yeah, probably.
Oh man, we still have an expedition to finish, so.
You're on a leash.
Aww. Untether me.
So deep.
We want to go explore.
Yeah. Atalanta was the fastest foot racer in all of ancient Greece. She needs to spread her wings.
Is
Is
that what Atalanta is?
Yeah, she was known for being the fastest foot racer and a huntress.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And now she's strapped to two
Girl boss.
big things.
Yeah.
One above her and one below her.
She needs to be free.
There's something there.
I really don't want this Atalanta to be free. I think I like her where she is right now.
We could start a petition, free Atalanta.
Yeah. Well, Atalanta should talk to Argus, and when they get free, it's not that fun.
Oh, yeah, where's Argus now? In like a warehouse somewhere?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think Argus was the guy,
Argus
wasn't
is
he?
retired in Hawaii? Doesn't sound so bad.
I think it's
living out his days on a farm.
working retirement.
Does
Hey, Jake,
anybody-
you're a bit quiet. Just an FYI on the SPL.
Oh, I can turn up his voice.
And Jake, a quick question here on so we get a pretty solid sinusoid up and down motion that actually doesn't seem to be translating to the Norbit, but is that because of that's the auto depth hunting there?
It is the auto depth. It's just it's kind of,
it's hunting all the time, isn't it?
You can't quite get it right because the tether with the swell of Atalanta, there is a slight, like the tether will
There's
kick
an
up and
oscillation.
down. There's a slight oscillation, so
In the
it'll always
system
be
that the
hunting.
PID has to compensate for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how you adjust. That's what you
In a
just
perfect world
in a
with a
perfect
perfect
world, yes.
tune, yeah, but they can spend a long time trying to tune it, and then the situation changes, and it's no longer in tune. Probably.
That's a problem that's always existed in this system, is the depth. It never quite gets there because of the tether.
Yeah, I actually noted that when we actually go in to do a CTD reference, we go into auto depth, and even though we're flying around everywhere and it's like pretty flat, you do a good job flying. As soon as we go into auto depth,
Yeah,
it gets a sinusoid.
Very rarely will go into auto depth.
Obviously, you don't want to do this now. Is this auto altitude or auto depth? I guess it doesn't really matter. It's whatever you feed these systems.
This is auto altitude. So that's the other thing when you're on, the bathymetry is changing. So it's constantly trying to, find that happy medium. The vehicle is actually moving in the water column.
Somehow we got to talking about Laplace transforms the other day.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and this would
Leave
be
Laplace out of this.
This would be an application of using Laplace's work.
Laplace space.
So when Atalanta's maybe going a little too fast, I tilted the camera down, but can I slow her down a little bit? Or
so
how could you?
Atalanta speed is controlled by the ship, so that is something that Hercules has to speed up normally when Atalanta's going too fast.
Oh, okay.
Atlanta's really strapped down.
Atalanta can twist.
She's been bad or something. I don't know. This is really interesting naming.
Yeah. Well, she does get kind of like tricked into marriage at the end of her story, so.
Maybe she's married now to two large, to Nautilus and Hercules.
It's 2:30 in the morning, everyone, just so you know.
Steve, have you considered writing mythology?
No, Aesop is not my. It's interesting though. Yeah, I have no idea who was Argus.
I think Argus was the ship that someone sailed on.
Let me Google it.
Yeah.
The Argonauts?
Look it up. The Argonauts.
Well, there's Argos. It's is an Argus, isn't it? Spelled G-U-S? I don't know.
So Argus was the all-seeing 100-eyed giant in Greek mythology.
Whoa.
100 eyes.
That works better for
that.
What
sled.
sled.
Yeah.
Argus was a servant of the goddess Hera and made an excellent watchman because he never fell asleep.
Yeah. We could use him on our team.
How did they go from that to Atalanta?
But then he decided to
because Atalanta's
escape.
lighter, maybe? So they went with somebody in mythology who's like swift of foot.
Swift of foot.
Swift of foot.
That's what it's called, right? When you're fast.
Swift of foot versus